Let's take a closer look at step 2 in this introduction to the four-step process, and that would be design and development. There are several key areas that are important in design and development. I'm going to quickly run through these and then we'll dig down a little bit more detail. The first is navigation. This really begins with a sitemap. Might even start during your strategic planning sessions, but the sitemap outlines navigation. You've got to keep it simple, keep it to 1 or 2 levels. From there you can move to design, which is the actual look and feel of the site, the colors, the fonts, the graphics, the logo. That's all design elements. Another area is development of technology. What kind of technology platform is the site using? Where is it being hosted? How does the technology talk to other types of technology in your company? This would be development and technology. A fourth area then is content and taglines. Absolutely critical, maybe one of the most important areas of your website's design and development process. People come to a website for content, and many times they leave a website because the content doesn't meet their needs. We'll talk about how to write for the web and design so that your content is effective. And then finally, market research and user feedback, another very important part of website design and development. Most websites are built in little vacuums. Just a small group of people are controlling a process that might be seen by thousands. So you've got to go out and talk to your target market and find out what they're looking for on a website, what appeals to them, and get user feedback, do usability testing. Let's dive in a little deeper into website navigation. Writing a sitemap, we mentioned this earlier, is such a critical part. Don't just start building the site, but lay out the sitemap first and then build the graphics and design around it. Keep your sitemap and your navigation consistent. One left-hand navigation system that's static, that's always there. People can count on it. They know how to use it. Absolutely critical. Keep your link titles, the titles of the links in your navigation system, very intuitive. 10 out of 10 people should look at a link title and know what that means. Avoid internal content or internal speak for your link titles. And make sure that any links that you have are placed in a consistent area in the left-hand navigation and not scattered throughout the website. Finally, the bottom line with website navigation is it must be easy to use. If it's not easy to use, people will leave your website or be frustrated after a few clicks and leave your website. So as we dig into website graphic design a little bit more, the really most important thing is that it fits your target market. There is no one design fits all. It just really depends on who you're targeting and what they expect to see on your site. Corporate sites are going to have a more professional look. Consumer websites might have a more playful look, or a kid's website will have a very different look from a website that's targeting a professional marketplace. This is absolutely critical that you fit your design and level of design to the target market. And it should stay out of their way to get accomplishing what they want to do. It should enhance their experience on the site, but stay out of the way so that they can get to the content they want. And to do that, it needs to be clean and easy to use and easy to follow. Over-designed websites have high bounce rates and frustrated users because they can't get to what they want. A couple things that are important here is that you use either left-hand or top-side navigation. People like to see navigation in a consistent area, and they gravitate toward the left first because that's where they start. When they read books and when they read websites, they start on the left side. Photos are part of a website graphic design process and also a very important component of having a winning web strategy. Most websites use clip art photos that they pull from CDs and from libraries. Well, those photos really don't tell the story. You should come up with unique photos to your business, to your company, that tell a story and use captions so people know what those photos are about. If you don't use captions, then people will just make assumptions on what they think that photo is. This is probably one of the most powerful things you can do in your website graphic design is have relevant photos taken by a good photographer with captions that tell a story. And then getting back to the left side of the page, your logo needs to be prominently displayed on the upper left-hand side. This is once again like the anchor of the page. It's where people will start, and then they'll move across the page and look at your other content. So the logo should be in the upper left. When we talk about technology for websites, there's really 3 things to think about. The first is that your website is a CMS website. This is what we recommend, and this basically means that it is a content management system website, or anyone can manage the content on the site from a browser. So you log on to a browser and you get in and you can update your content. There are two popular ways to do this, some Microsoft.NET products and open source, and we recommend Joomla as an open source product for editing websites. Open source means that the source code for Joomla is not owned by any company, but there's a bunch of developers that come on and build this code and add to it and improve it. Whereas .NET is owned by Microsoft, and they kind of pull the strings on that product. A second way is through the use of Adobe products. You can go search, do a search on Adobe products. You'll see the Adobe website, and you'll see Dreamweaver and Flash and Cold Fusion, products like that. This is basically expensive software products that you download onto your computer, and then you can use them to build websites. They're very complicated. You can also use those software products to edit your website, but they are complicated. They're hard to use, and you need to build expertise in how to use Adobe products. A third area is HTML coding, and most companies don't do this because it requires someone who knows how to write in HTML, and that's basically a language in itself. The CMS products and Adobe will write HTML code for you, and most people are building websites in those two platforms. We're going to come back and look at content and taglines in our next video presentation.